did this in 2 weeks since Psycho blew up our spot.
Was that only 2 weeks ago? It feels like so much longer.
I know, right?
The sign says no girls allowed.
Superman's dead dad?
Hard Ivy, what are you doing here?
Ooh, is that our official celeb couple name?
For next week's tournaments, but we still have one more set to do here in the rest of the bracket. We're going to jump into the final losers round 1 of top 8, which is going to be Kikwa and Josh facing off against Inside Out and Tymier. Now this is going to be quite the set, right? Both of these teams a little bit unknown in comparison to some of the other teams that we've been seeing here in the bracket, but definitely teams you should be knowing, right? Because they do a lot of work for themselves. They got tons of action to be able to come out here. Kikwa rocking with the Wonder Woman. So if you haven't seen a Wonder Woman yet, here's another one coming at you. Josh rocking with the Jake. So this is a Wonder Woman Jake team. By the way, Kikwa for coming all the way from New York, facing off against Inside Out and Tymier. This is going to be a weird team, right? Because Inside Out plays Iron Giant and Tymier plays Wonder Woman yet again, or Harley Quinn. They're coming over from Georgia as well. They actually got knocked into losers by Broskis and Oops, so you know they're looking for that run back. If they manage to take this set when they do indeed get that run back against the Fabled brothers that knocked them down here. So they got a lot on the line here. Not only do they want some monetary value as well as getting a better seat, but they want to get that run back.
Alrighty,
So we're going to jump in here for the next one, Niall. Like literally blue team and red team. They're picking their characters right now. It looks like it's going to be the Harley Quinn instead of the Wonder Woman. And honestly, I mess with this, right? Having 2 tanks, Wonder Woman's really good at being able to cover for Iron Giant sometimes, but some of the times you just want to be able to go Harley. So having that Harley Quinn be able to get go into the front line, very important.
Oh yeah, Harley will be one of those characters that can also help to enable Iron Giant, because then if Harley's going in and just dealing tons of damage to members of the enemy team, it can just allow Iron Giant to just find a situation where he's like, okay, I'm just gonna drop in, cannonball, and get a KO. That's literally just becomes the game plan. Harley, you deal all the damage, I finish them off. And that will probably be their strategy going into this first game here on Sky Arena Replats.
Looks like Kikwa's going to go for the Velma pick, by the way, which honestly I agree with. This is a really good character for Jake to be able to face off, to be able to play with, right? This allows Jake to be able to go in there. Josh can actually play the frontlining game while Kikwa stays in the back and just tries to add on a ton of support with her kit, right? Having Megaphone, having Word Bubbles, both of those moves not only have like a long range and do a lot of damage and add on debuffs to the opponents, but also adds on either healing or gray health for the teammates, so it allows them to be able to do even more work in the process. No, gets called out by the green ball. Good coverage coming out from Josh to be able to try to like protect their teammate and let them play the game that they want to play.
Oh man, look at all that damage coming out with the Electro Bubble onto Kikwa, and there is the KO. You see Tymier going up to the top of the blast zone, able to clean that up. Tymier sitting there with the plushie bomb, looking for the up air. Oh, Inside Out, not able to finish off that just yet. Great DI there coming out from Josh.
Oh my gosh, a really early KO from Up Air City. Inside Out managed to chase him all the way up to the top and get that KO, give himself a 2-point lead here, as Tymier doing a pretty good job not taking too much damage, right? It looks like all the damage is coming out from the tank Inside Out with that Iron Giant. Only sitting at 80, going for a lot of coverage here. Gets called out by the downer Up Air. Oh my gosh, challenging Jake. That's a really dangerous thing to do, right? Because of the nature of the stuff. It's the side air, gets the spike, and now all of a sudden, things are looking a little bit better here for blue team.
Yeah, blue team able to find a way to flip the script here a little bit, as we see Tymier sitting at this 125. You gotta imagine, if you are blue, you gotta be able to find this KO onto Harley as fast as possible. Iron Giant doing a great job Inside Out, just kind of taking a lot of that damage, letting Harley survive to as much as they like. Look at this, 156 on Harley Quinn. You gotta be able to clean this up if you're blue.
I just cannot believe she's living this long, dude. Like, Harley Quinn being one of the lightest characters in the game, still being able to survive, gets called out by the Megaphone, and still because the Megaphone had a little bit of decay, wasn't able to get the KO off the side, but they did catch Tymier without any of the resources, so they weren't able to get back onto the stage and take a pretty fine KO for them. But now things are looking very bad for blue team. Gets the green ball into the spike. See if they can try to finish off this Jake as well. Josh trying to find a way to survive with this 120 damage, chilling the back line. Now it's up to Velma. Kikwa has to go in there and try to get some action going, but I don't know if it's going to be able to work out for them. There's a call out from the side air, the big boy KO coming up from Inside Out, and red team's going to take that first point and add on this lead for this set.
Very good side air there from Inside Out. But one thing I do want to mention is the amount of stage control that this composition has with Harley and with Iron Giant. When Iron Giant's in rage mode, all those projectiles coming out just create so much space for red. And also Harley, a lot of people forget about Harley. Harley is also a pretty good trap setter as well. She has a Jack-in-the-Boxes that she can set up. She has the Batman plushie that she can throw out and explode that. She can do a little bit of trap setting on her own. And when you combine the efforts of both Harley and Iron Giant, it can be a nightmare for the opposing team to work around all of those different traps and projectiles being set up. It's like a maze. It's literally like trying to get around a maze. And when you have to work around a maze and 2 other characters, that is just so difficult to do. As we see that down special, look at that. The green bubble coming out, the electro bubble coming out. Where does blue go? It's like at that point, you have to literally go off stage in order to survive. That is just insane to play against. Could be crucial if played correctly.
I have a busy afterlife plan.
Yeah,
So let's not waste
it all
my
depends
time.
on how they end up playing this game, and they have to stay grounded. Obviously, you don't have access to that ground side special when you're hanging onto the wall. So now we're gonna jump into game number 2 here. Again, red team up 1-0 inside and out, and Tymier playing extremely strong in that. I think what was paid them really well to be able to play that strong in game number 1 was the fact that Tymier was living for so long in the beginning, and it seems to be happening yet again. Look at this, Tymier only sitting at 25 damage, being extremely nimble and trying to be evasive from all these combos, letting Inside Out be the primary target for red team.
Yeah, Inside Out just trying to be that sponge here, Aussie. Just wants to be able to absorb all of that damage, make sure that Tymier can live forever. Here goes the green bubble, looking for the setup, the electro bubble. Oh, it looks like they were trying to go for that electric shock off on Iron Giant with the up special there. Not able to get that KO just yet, but here comes blue. Looking to see if they can clean up a KO, and it's not able to. Oh, no.
That was such a good green bubble placement. The fact that Inside Out did that from off stage to give Tymier some breathing room to get back on stage, to use it as a defensive tool, was insanely smart and allowed Tymier to be able to hang on to this stock for even longer, bro. 88 damage? Living the dream.
Yeah, that is wild. That is wild. Sitting at 88% as we see Inside Out sitting at 171. There goes another KO coming up there for Red, and Red is sitting really comfortably. If Blue wants to be able to get back into this, they really need to be able to find a way to either get an early KO onto this Harley or find a way to clean up onto this Iron Giant. IG is sitting at 187 right now.
And he's got bolts to spare, being able to give himself that extra survivability. 200 damage. Look at him avoid key. That Wonder Woman that was so evasive maneuver. Now we're seeing the triple digits into 200 damage territory. Finally gets that sweet spot to be able to get that first KO for blue team. And yet again, the last one to lose a life is Tymier, 113 damage. Things are looking insanely strong for them as they're going to try to hang on to this for as long as possible. Gets an up special action off the top. Look at them continue to chase after him, not allowing Keyquat to play the game. Look at that combo damage on the right side. Up air to up special to up air to up special, all the way laddering towards the top of the blast zone to just completely shut down any sort of momentum that blue team was starting to build.
What a clinic coming out there from red team. That ladder combo by Tymier at the end was really great, but I love this green bubble capture here. Tymier throwing out the up special, able to get that KO off of the green bubble. And then here we see again, we just see Inside Out just staying alive here on the right side of the stage. Just letting Tymier do a little bit of the work, saying, hey, look, I need to be able to get back on the stage. I need to be able to land. Can you create a little bit of space for me, buddy? All right, cool. I'm landing here, big fella. And that is what they're able to do. Red really just trusting in their teammate there. Inside Out just saying, hey, look, I'm just going to be the sponge. I go in, I take all the damage. Tymier, you can do the rest. And look at that juggle. Look at that juggle. That's why Harley should be good at juggling. She's a clown after all.
Yeah, like clowning it out up here, playing like she's in the circus, bro, because she's definitely running circles around her opponents. She's literally did not lose a single stock that entire game. The only one that did was Inside Out. So Tymier playing out of their mind, doing all of these setups to be able to just look very pretty. They're up 2-0. It's going to be Cromulons. So this starts off as a very big stage, right? Especially with those stereo speakers. The stereo speakers are breakable. So once you break those, it starts to turn into a slightly smaller stage, especially with a really close blast zone to the bottom. Look at that. Almost gets a really early KO against Josh. The only reason Josh is still alive is because it is Cromulons. That the blast zone a little bit high on the ceiling.
Yeah, that was almost a KO right there from Inside Out. You gotta remember that Iron Giant, that up air is a large hitbox. Iron Giant, one of those characters that can definitely scrap up the top of the blast zone. Side air coming out, able to get that KO on the Kikwa, and this is Red trying to find that response. Rage mode is active, laying out the damage on some. Oh, no way that KO'd. No way that just KO'd right there, Aussie.
That was a fully charged up attack from Harley on top of Inside Out catch them mid-game. Like that sent them flying, bro. And now all of a sudden, red team off to an insanely strong start compared to the previous game. So now it's going to be on blue team to pick up the slack, which they're starting to do. That's a very early KO against Tymier. Now we see the chase. Look at this, spinning up so much gas and still gets caught with the up special. tying up this game currently. In terms of damage right now, it looks like Josh is sitting at 97, almost triple digits, now triple digits. So he's going to be kind of become the primary target for red team, but they're still going to have to rack up a little bit more damage here on Kikwa. Look at that. Already got the ignite on them, so there's going to be even more passive damage from the burn status effect right afterwards. So it's only going to continue to go up further and further as the victory is starting to lose from their grasp, Niall.
Yeah, it looks like this could potentially be a 2-for-1 situation. As we see right now, Kikwa sitting at pretty high percentage, 125, trying to find their footing. But here goes the rage mode. Here comes the electro bubble. Here comes the missiles. Look at all of those projectiles. How do you work around that? Kikwa still stuck on this left side of the stage, trying to find their footing, and is able to.
And now, Inside Out has to stay alive. He's at 117. Everyone's going to be chasing after him. 117 damage is up to Tymier to play that frontliner game. He has to get in there and try to get this KO against Wonder Woman. But right now, Kikwa's not going to be able to give it to him until he finally jumps into the up air, calls out the jump, and calls out the set. Inside and Out, Tymier going to be able to shut down any momentum that they were starting to build and move on into losers' quarters. And I would say still a pretty dominant fashion. 3-1 victory for them.
Yeah, that was very dominant there from Red Team. Even though we saw Kikwa and Josh respond a little bit, try to show their signs of life, this game right here, I mean, just the management of the Rage mode was so huge. And look at that follow-up. That was a fully charged, as you said earlier, Aussie, fully charged up attack from Harley, comboed into missiles, bro. That is synergy at its finest.
This is a moment where we saw all that exhaustion being built up from Inside Out, trying to expend a lot of his fuel to stay alive for a pretty long time. Eventually gets called out by Kikwa, and there was that anti-up air coming out. This is the key moment right here. On top of that, you're going to notice that Kikwa is going to be stuck on the left side of the stage. He sent them all the way up to the top left of it, and then calls out the jump to finish off the set. Look at that jump out there. Calls out the jump. That was a dash jump on top of that, so man, automatically going to give you that crisp diagonal action and a very quick motion. So again, good stuff to them for being able to take out that set.
Yeah, definitely that crisp diagonal action. I love the call there on the up air, and that's one thing that is so good about Iron Giant. Iron Giant, one of those characters who can just throw out the up air, get the KO when they need to, and because of how large they are, they can kind of just occupy space in the air, basically control stage control, but basically in the air. So when their opponent is looking to recover, they can kind of just sit there and just say, "Hey, you're coming in towards me. I hit you with that up air. You're done." And what a great performance there from Red, as we'll see them advance in the bracket. But here we go.
Yes. Broskies and Oops here on the blue team are the ones that sent them down to losers. So this is going to be the run back for them to show, was it a fluke, or are they going to show dominance in the second set? Let's dive in and find out who's going to come out on top.
I love the Superman pick here from Oops tier. I feel like this would work really well against a character like Iron Giant. In my opinion, Superman being one of the characters that thrives against Iron Giant, especially in those edge guard scenarios, and it is very hard for a character like Iron Giant with that big old hurt box to air dodge pass a grab from Superman.
Yeah, just trying to just be able to, play a little bit evasive and get away from the grab. But one thing I do want to point out is that Oops here is actually starting off with Superman this time around. Most of the time we've been seeing from tournaments in recent memory, especially in winter side of the bracket earlier on yesterday, if you were catching some of the streams, was that Oops was playing Batman, starting off with Batman, ending it with Batman, and very rarely busting out the Superman. Now, earlier today in today's broadcast, opted to go for the Shaggy into Batman into Superman combo for all those games. This time around, he's like, you know what? Screw it. I'm playing the Soups. That's my old main. We'll see how this is going to be able to work out. But right out the gate, Inside Out doing a fantastic job with that dive into the cannonball to send him up to the top. A good turnaround from them. And again, what other character is going to be able to survive a sider like that besides Iron Giant? Superman. He's the Man of Steel for a reason.
Oh yeah, Superman definitely one of the heavier characters, can take a beating as well, but there goes a KO for Blue, trying to find their way to get back into this. Inside Out trying to find a way to land, and is able to.
Finally gets that up attack, sending Oops, sending him bye-bye. And now something that's actually coming into play a lot in this matchup is Oops, you're going to notice he's going for that Ice Breath. Ice Breath's primary ability is for trying to slow down your opponent. Look at that catch. Was Batman going to be able to do that, bro? Maybe with the grappling hook, but I love Oops going all the way up there, chasing after him, using one of the best jumps in the game to chase after Inside Out, who's just trying to stay safe in that corner. You cannot escape the Soups.
Yeah, really good catch right there from Oops here. Going out there like a wide receiver catching that IG over the top left of the stage. We'll have to see if Blue will be able to keep up this damage though. We see Red doing really good job of forcing it over, but oh, there goes the Nair and it's immediately broken up. I love the awareness there from Tymier. Saw that Oops here was looking for that Nair into an edge guard situation. Tymier's like, nope, you are not sending my Iron Giant off stage.
Getting rid of those projectiles again with the Ice Breath allows Broski to be able to like throw up a little bit more. Now Tymier's stuck in a bad situation. Look at these grabs coming out from Oops, almost catching him up. Dude, you called him a wide receiver. He's looking like a quarterback right now with these grabs, catching him all the way to the side of the blast zone, connects the downer right afterwards and spikes him into the blast zone. And now all of a sudden Tymier is going to be kind of like the one that needs to stay super back. But they already broke the defenses of the Iron Giant. Look at the chase. He has to be able to survive a little bit longer. Oops 30 at 126, but he is Superman, so he's going to be able to survive a little bit longer while Broski's going to ready up that mystery machine. We got a mystery on our hands. What's the dealio? It captures Iron Giant. How does he even fit in that car? I don't even know, but he just took so much damage.
Yeah, both members of Red sitting at very high percentages. Blue needs to be able to clean this up right here, right now. They have the match point. Armor on the Superman, double heat vision. Heat vision, KO up to Tymier. That is a move you don't see KO often, but a character like Harley Quinn being on the lighter end of the spectrum,
cooldown system for that move. Superman only gets so many actions of being able to use that before he has to like go back down to the ground and fight again. Another thing on top of that, what makes heat vision a really good move up on the air is it allows for a lot of combo starters to be able to bring someone up to the top for him to be able to match it. But Red team already putting up such a fight against them, looking like they were maybe almost trying to bring this back. Look at this chase. I love that chase, bro. He just went up there. One thing I love about Oops' gameplay style is that man has no fear. He is one of the bravest players I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, definitely has no fear. And I feel like as a Superman player, you kind of have to have a little bit more confidence in yourself. You got to be able to just say, hey, look, I see an opportunity. I got to be able to go for it, and you have to be able to clutch up on it. Superman, one of those characters, you got to have that confidence. Got to be able to just execute when the time comes.
Yeah, he certainly knows how to do it. Broski's also already doing a fantastic job of just trying to armor and shield. He can add on bolts on top of that, so that makes him even more invulnerable. But Wonder Woman has so many moves that put armor on. Neutral special is the whip. If you catch your teammate with it, gives them armor. If you use down attack, gives them armor. Up special gives them armor. The only one that doesn't is side special. It's just like the big punch right there, but I'm not even shocked if it gave him armor or not. And then not alone is just the down special. It gives them not only armor, but gives them shield, which makes it invincible. Not even just like tank an attack. They just don't even flinch.
Oh yeah, as we see Oops here already going for another edge guard here.
Oh no!
Broski's there with the beam to follow up, Austin.
That's the Superman I remember. That I told you, it's still possible. You can do it. You just got to go out there and believe in yourself, and that's exactly what Oops is doing right now. That's such an early KO against Tymier.
Yeah, we see the green bubble able to stop a little bit of Oops' momentum, and I feel like it's going to be huge here. The projectiles from inside out, and they're able to use those projectiles to just stop Oops here's momentum. Make it difficult for Superman to find their approach options. That will be huge in this set.
Yeah, look at Chase after him, gets the grab on top of that. I feel like the speediness of Superman is just so good at catching the slowness of Iron Giant, desperately trying to land. That's like the third time we've seen just do a fantastic edge guarding game against him. Look at Broski's damage, by the way. 35 on the first stock. What have you been doing this whole game? Just playing support? I dig it.
Yeah, man, playing a support as we see Oops here right now trying to play a little bit more damage onto inside out on that left side of stage. Broski's sitting comfortable right now on the belt. He's like, I'm just chilling. I'm just throwing on my word bubbles. I'm just enabling my teammate to do what they need to do for us to get this done.
Using the Ice Breath as a kind of a retreating tool to prevent people from being able to chase on top of them on everything that's been going on. 170 damage here on Oops and climbing. They're stuck in a corner right now. They can't get out. Look at them. Broski tries to be able to survive, but with the Cromulon's going to be able to survive a little bit longer. Oops still out there. Where are you going? You got to be careful inside out because Oops is chasing after you. There's the down air. Tymier finally shuts down this menace. The Black Lantern Superman finally goes flying out of their down airs after down air, be able to get these edge guards. We finally find a little bit of leverage here for Red Team. It's all on Tymier to be able to not go off into the blast zone, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Blue Team running amok right now.
Not my time.
Yeah, blue team trying to find their way to respond and is able to. They have this match point. They have to be able to find a way to clean up this KO onto Iron Giant, though. Wow, look at the patience from Oops here there. Great armor from Tymier. And the rage mode is active. Let's see if Inside Out can find a quick KO, potentially onto Broskies.
Yeah, that was a fantastic shield from Tymier because it allowed Inside Out to be able to land down on the ground, pop his bolts, and pop a rage on top of that. So if he didn't do that, that could have been the game. So good call out from Tymier, being able to come in clutch for his teammate when he can. But Oops and Broskies already sitting, even if they both lose their stock right now, they'll still be winning afterwards. There's one whip, got that tipper on Broskies, losing the very first stock of the game. But it does not matter. We have yet another grapple coming out. Oops grabbing Iron Giant by his neck and tossing him out of here. Get out of here, bro. You're done for.
Yeah, man, that Iron Giant Superman matchup. Superman does so well against a character that's just a big body, just a big punching bag. And look at this, Superman, a forward air, a neutral air, another tap. We got the beam coming out, another victim. So here comes another situation. We see the side air come out. We see the up special come out, able to get the KO. And a character like Iron Giant, it takes so long sometimes for those hitboxes to become active. What do you do? What do you do? I love the response there from Tymier on the down air off of the green bubble, but it's just time and time again. We see situations where Oopster is able to create so much space on the Superman, and Broski's living to 172 on Velma. Like, come on, man. You gotta be able to find a way to get a KO onto that Velma at some point in time. Red team gonna have to figure out some way to create a new strategy here.
And you can't highlight Broski's gameplay enough, because especially with that first opening stock, you notice how Oops got that really early KO against Wonder Woman. Do you know how that happened? Because Tymier was chasing after Oops while Oops was chasing after Iron Giant. And guess what happened? Broski shot off a megaphone, hit Tymier off guard, put him into the blast zone, put him into a corner for Oops to...
We'll have to see how they will be able to respond. Oops tier, Broski's taking the last one. The set is currently 2-0.
Yeah, 2-0, looking very closely to become a 3-0 if Inside Out and Tymier don't find something to work out here right now. They got to get something cooking. And right out the gate, already sitting at 78 damage on Inside Out. That's not the start you want to see.
Oh, here comes the neutral there from Oops here. Oops here trying to see if they can follow up with something here on this left side of the stage. I love the side air and the side air coming out from Tymier. Inside Out and Tymier looking to try to create some space. Electro bubble setup, missiles and some more. But here comes Oops here. Side special looking for the up special. Coverage from Broski's. They are working together beautifully right now, honestly.
They are the brothers from Florida, and they're doing so much work. Look at Oops carrying him all the way down. He was at 36 damage. He's looking desperately for that final. He finally gets a really early KO against Oops. It's going to be a good gamble for Red Team to try to hang in there and show signs of life.
Yeah, very good up special right there from Tymier. Also, I want to point out with that recovery, and now we see Red Team looking to try to see if they can get a little bit more damage on to the Superman, charging that side special. Oops here, looking for the aggression, and here it is. Red Team finding their footing now in the center of the stage, trying to see if they can cut off Blue and make it difficult for Blue to have that space for the Superman to get in. Oh no.
Oh, the bolts saving their life from Oops's throw. He had to go for it at that moment. He didn't want to lose that second stock. But this is a big power play for Red Team. Oh, they didn't get as much damage as they possibly could. You saw the KBI coming out from Broski. He's choosing to be off stage at 120. There's another sider coming out. Avoids the green ball. Not enough, though. Stuck in a rock between a hard place. Could not recover back on stage. And now Red Team is showing a potential lead here. If they can get rid of Oops right now, they can actually take the lead.
Yeah, it looks like Red might be able to get a response here. If they can find a way to clean up a KO onto the Man of Steel, that could be huge here.
Not gonna happen. They're not gonna give him any wiggle room. See that megaphone into the up air, and now we have match point, set point for Blue Team. If they can get one more stock on here, the brothers could easily turn this thing around and go into losers semis. It's all about if they can try to clutch this out before Red Team starts to find any sort of like momentum shift or anything in their favor, because right now it's looking pretty bleak.
Yeah, it is looking a little bit rough. We see Oops here sitting at 183%. Red needs to be able to find this KO. Very good armor coming out there from Tymier. I love that. Finding the awareness, knows what Oops here is looking for. But here comes Oops here, going over on the left side of the stage. The beam being set up over here from Broski's. Response from Tymier, and everything's starting to settle out a little bit. Looks like Red might be able to find this KO after all. 212
damage. Now on Oops still, he finally gets called by a straight up attack, and all of a sudden Red Team, out of literally the depths of despair, turn the entire tables on Blue Team. All it takes was the 1-2 punch, which we see in Multversus time and again. What's so strong about that is when you have both opponents at high damage, you KO one of them, and then you dogpile the second opponent while the teammate is trying to spawn in. It takes them like a good 3 to 4 seconds before they're back into the action of things, which is why the 1-2 KO is so strong in this game. That entire match, Broskies and Oops here looked like they were dominant control, but that was the first sign of the turnaround right there. The second Tymier shut down that momentum by getting a very early KO on Oops by diving in after the cannonball with the down air. That was like when they, okay, hold on. They could try to put this back up, and they finally put a point on the board, and now they're at a 2-1 deficit. Yet again, Niall, there was a 2-0 lead, and then they show signs of life.
Yeah, 2-0 lead, and the signs of life. I think this is the name of the game.
Well, she's got a couple of charge tools as well. Her sider does the exact same thing with the flashlight, so that's why we're seeing that perk come into play so much this set.
Yeah, now we see a switch up of stage as well. Trophy's Edge, I actually really like this pick here for Broskies and Oops here. I feel like those platforms can enable a character like Superman to just jump off of them, look for neutral air, look for side air, and then they can get KOs off of it. So we shall see, Aussie, as we see a lot of that stage control coming out there from Red. I love how when Tymier pops the armor onto Inside Out immediately looks for ways in which they can create some space with that armor. Not afraid to take damage when that is applied.
Oh man, Inside Out in a very bad spot. That could have been devastating for that down air. Broski's trying to finish it off. Gets it on Wonder Woman. That's 2 extremely early KOs for blue team's favor. I think that's why we're seeing Trophy's Edge come out here. These blast zones are much smaller than the likes of Cromulon. So you're going to see these KOs actually come out, but right back at you. Tymier coming out with the super punch. Managed to catch Broski's unaware, and now it's on Oops to be able to come back in here and keep on this damage, keep it on. Look at this chase. Look at this chase.
Look at these up here. Is almost able to get that K onto Inside Out. They were smelling blood in the water like a shark. They had the opportunity, not able to execute it just yet, though.
Oops, almost got an incredibly early KO again against Inside Out. You know, she's sitting out 91 damage. This is the time to get some stuff going. Look at that combo coming out from Oops, diving that jab into down attack, into neutral attack. A very strong grounded combo game from Oops until he finally is able to continue to survive. Taking a lot of damage off him. He's not falling off anytime soon. Falls out of the green ball, 154 damage and climbing as Oops is hanging on to this stock take for dear life until they both go up there. You see an up special coming up from Tymier. And now, again, a competitive set coming out here. Broski sitting at 61 damage. Has the ability to get a pretty early KO against Tymier. Gets it on Inside Out. 1 life away from moving on into the loser's semis. He's going to get this one more KO. Look at that chase. Good recovery coming out from Tymier. Going to jump above that side attack as we're going to continue this onslaught from Red Team.
Yeah, it looks like Red is trying to find the way to get this damage in. As we see Blue sitting at pretty relatively good percentages. Tymier trying to run here, sitting at 130. Side air coming out. Oops here, trying to find this KO onto Wonder Woman. Tymier playing extremely elusive right now. There goes the armor. Armor being applied. Down special coming out. Oops here, now breaking into the 100s percentage though. This may be a situation in which Red can find the KO. Here comes the Mystery Machine coming in. Has him captured. Gotta be able to find a way to break out. Oops here looking for is able to. Oops here on stage, finding another victim, and there is the KO. Oops here, Broskies moving on.
Man, every single time you got offset, you saw the Mystery Machine happen, you saw them pack up Tymier into the Mystery Machine. At that point, when they're sitting at 160 damage, you saw how much damage they took while being inside of it. So at that point, you're like, okay, they're done for. But actually, they just went after Inside Out and got that early KO against them. That was all Broskies at the very end. As Broskies, Oops, you're taking a 3-1 victory, move on to the loser semis, and cemented that, hey, that wasn't a fluke earlier. We did get that win. We beat you again. But congratulations again to Tymier and Inside Out getting a 5th place finish here at Fall Showdown number 2 East Online, a part of the circuit, and still qualifying into finals. So we'll be seeing them again in a week's time. But for the rest of this set, we now have 4 teams left. Niall, only 4. We started with 8, and now there is half remaining.
Yeah, half remaining. You know, sometimes some teams make it, some teams don't. And right now, you've been seeing just the best of the best move on in this tournament. The seeding definitely does count. These are all teams that will already make it into the finals. They will always make it into the finals for the Fall Showdown. But some teams make it, some teams don't. And right now, you've been seeing just the best of the best move on in this tournament. The seeding definitely does count. These are all teams that will already make it into the finals. They will always make it into the finals for the Fall Showdown. But right now, they're fighting for seeding. They're fighting for that extra prize money. That every little bit counts as we have the bracket on screen right now. So we just finished up Oops Tier and Broskies, winning that set up against Inside Out and Tymier. And now your loser semifinals is set. Meth96 and Clueless will face off against Broskies and Oops Tier. And over in winners finals, you have Swerve and Wavy facing off against Monk and House Arrest. We still have some great Multversus action to get into here, Aussie. This